In a world where trust is shattered and love is tested, one channel dares to uncover the untold stories of heartbreak and betrayal. Welcome to Heartbreak Chronicles, where real-life tales of infidelity are unraveled, secrets exposed, and lives forever changed. Join us as we navigate the complex world of relationships, offering support, understanding, and a place for those who have faced the pain of betrayal. Subscribe to Heartbreak Chronicles now, because every story deserves to be told, and every heartbreak deserves to be heard. Story 1. My wife is cheating. Help me. I have been married to my wife for just over 5 years. We have a 4-year-old daughter. For the past week or two, I've had my suspicions that my wife was talking to someone or cheating on me. Last night after I got home, when she was asleep, I checked her phone and confirmed my suspicions. She has been talking to a coworker, and the texts from the past 2 days ranged from both of them saying "I love you" to making plans today for him to come to my house today while I am at work. While they didn't definitively say they were going to have sex, it was strongly implied. There is some evidence of other sexual acts already having taken place. I am now sitting at a Waffle House after calling into work to say I'm not coming in. I'm planning on trying to get proof of the visit if he does come over by watching when my alarm is disarmed. After my research, if it ends in divorce, if I can prove she has committed adultery, she will not be eligible for any alimony in my state. I could stop them from having sex by going home and confronting her before it happens, but it would cost me a lot in the long run if our marriage does fall apart. I love her and don't want it to end, but I can't see how I can forgive her for this. Even if I confronted her now, I would always still feel the same as if she did have sex with him. This hurts so much. I love her more than anything, and I feel like there is a hole in my chest and lead in my stomach. I am physically hungry, but can't bring myself to eat because I am so nauseous. I can't stop shaking. I can't think straight. I feel like a part of me has been ripped out. I am terrified of what this will mean for my life, and more than that, the life of my daughter. I don't know what to do. Update. First off, thanks for the silver. Too bad my first Reddit award had to be for this, but thanks nonetheless. Huge thanks to everyone for all the advice, suggestions, and support. While I still feel physically sick, I am able to think clearer thanks to everyone. I will keep you all updated as this unfolds. Second update, I just want to say thanks. Again, I haven't left this post since I created it, and I've still not stopped reading. This is the only thing keeping me sane right now. If you are just getting here, please don't think because there are 250 plus comments that your opinion, advice isn't important. I've read every single comment with an open mind, and I am factoring all of them into what I do. Also, it really helps a lot. I have yet to confront them, as the guy hasn't shown up, and I don't think he will. Today at least. Maybe she caught on that I knew. I tried to play it like nothing was wrong this morning when I left, but damn did it hurt. Not sure if she bought it. In their texts, they planned for him to come over Thursday morning. If he doesn't show up, I think I'm going to talk to her about it tonight. Third update, every single one of you are awesome. You're really helping me get through this. The guy never showed up, so here is the current plan. I'm going to act like nothing's wrong for now. After talking to you all and family, I think I can act like nothing's wrong. I'll go see a lawyer in the morning, and I talked to a pie that I'll probably be hiring. I know from the text that she planned on having him come over during the hunting trip I have planned for next weekend, so I'm going to make sure I go and that the pie knows. I think I've decided I'm done. I don't want to try to fix it. I'm going to cover my ass and get out. It's not just an affair in the sense that she's having sex. She tells him she loves him, and she doesn't seem to love me anymore. I feel like she's trying to use me. She wanted a new car and for me to pay for her to go to school, but wanted to be with him. Currently, she left to pick up my daughter from daycare. I'm watching the time. I know how long it should take. If she takes longer, I can guess where she went. Either way, I'm going to try to make it through Christmas and my daughter's birthday next Friday without saying anything about this. Hopefully the pie can find evidence then. Wish me luck. Update 4. Get ready, this is a big one. So I came home and acted normal. Everything seemed normal. We joked a bit, and man if that doesn't hurt when you're heartbroken, and had dinner. Sitting on the couch after dinner, she asks me to pause the TV and asks when I was going to mention it. I asked what it was, and she said she knew I saw the texts. Start the conversation. She tells me that he didn't come over and that she told him she doesn't want to talk to him anymore. She blocked his number. Obviously, since she has done this, the original plan is off the table. I still love her. My heart is broken. I don't know if I can ever forgive her or trust her. I don't know if I can be in a relationship with her. She wants to work on us. I don't know if I am willing to or not. She says she was talking to him because she didn't feel wanted. She didn't feel a deep emotional connection between us, and he knew all the right things to say. She said she told him she couldn't be with him and told him multiple times she was done with him, yet here she is inviting him to our house. She said it wasn't a choice what she felt for him. The exact story was along the lines of he was begging at my register one day, and I accidentally touched his hand, and it was like electricity. I know you're probably reading this and thinking it's a load of BS. Yeah, me too. How am I supposed to trust her? I can't see her side of this. Should I give her a chance? Should I try to work on things? I don't know. Do I want to? Is it worth it? I have to figure all this out. I told her I can't decide now. I have to think about it. I'm thinking about asking some coworkers if I can crash on their couch for a few days. Get away from it all and think. Of course I'd come back for Christmas for my daughter's sake. I don't see any point in hiring the pie now, as I genuinely don't think she'd do anything for a while. Maybe I'm wrong. Obviously I have been before. I'm taking plenty of precautions in the meantime to make sure I know what she is doing, and if anything is questionable, I'm done. Of course I won't tell her about any of this. This will be my last update for today. Please continue to offer your perspective and advice, but I think this is largely a decision I'll have to make after due consideration. Update 5. Unanswered questions, my feelings, and the plan. I'm going to do a little Q in a section for the most asked questions. Q. How did she find out I know? A. 2 ways. She had a strong suspicion that I knew because when she woke up, there was a notification on her phone for a new screenshot, but when she clicked it, there was no file. She was 100% sure I knew once she found this post. Yup, she's seen it. She's probably reading this now. Hi wife. We'll get more into that later. Q. What did she say when I asked if she had sex with him? A. She said no. I am inclined to believe her, because in many of the texts, including some of the last ones, he was saying how excited he was to finally see how hot PY is lesser than. That's a direct quote from him from the text BTW. No, does this mean I believe that she didn't? No, not at all. It doesn't change how I feel whether she did or not. She planned on it, and probably would have if I hadn't found out. It'll be a long time before we ever are intimate again. If we ever are, I will definitely have us both checked for STDs. Q. How do I know she won't do it again? A. Obviously I don't. If we try to fix things, I'll probably never be able to fully trust her again. She is going to have to prove that she will be 100% honest with me. Here's the first test. To my wife, if you are reading this, text me now. Text me right now and tell me. Stop reading and text me. I will know if you have read it and don't tell me. It will be over. Some info on the comments I've seen. I'd say roughly 80-90% of you are telling me to lawyer up and leave her. Of that 80-90%, around 20% is actually making any kind of argument as to why I should rather just say once a cheater, always a cheater, or something similar. The other 10-20% are telling me to either give it a shot, or to do what I want, what makes me happy. The majority of those posters are making good arguments as to why I should stay. Thank you to everyone that has commented. It means so much to me that so many internet strangers have taken the time to try and help or comfort me. Also, please don't downvote people because you don't agree with their opinion. Everyone's opinion matters, even if it doesn't align with yours. I feel like in update 4, I represented her wrongly. She was saying that she did what she did with him because she felt unwanted, but she understood that it was her fault. She knows she should have talked to me. She knows she is the one in the wrong. She says she doesn't blame me for it. I didn't push her away and make her do this. She said she could control how she felt for him, but she could have controlled what she did. She let him talk her into it because I think that even if she doesn't realize it, it's what she wanted at the time. Our marriage hasn't been perfect. We've had issues. We've had issues communicating, especially lately. We've not had a great sex life. I felt like she didn't care enough, and she felt like I didn't care enough. Neither of us tried enough to work on it. Does that mean I blame myself for this? FK no, not even a little. She did this, and she knows that's how I feel. I'm not trying to make you guys like her. I just want you to understand that I don't think, and never did think, that she is a whore that is a terrible person. She is a terrible wife for what she did to me, but in general is not a bad person. Now, for the plan going forward, I thought long and hard last night and this morning about what I wanted. What would make me happy? I'm not going to make the decision to stay or leave based on what she wants. I'm not going to decide to stay to keep our family together. I have to make it based on what I want. I want to stay with her, but that doesn't mean I've decided to. I want us to work things out and talk to counselors and our marriage will be better than ever, but I have no idea if that will happen. After I knew she read this post, I knew that she knew about the SC law on adultery, and that she wouldn't be entitled to alimony if she was caught. That was my only defense. Now that she knows, I don't think she'd do anything with anyone for a long time, which means that hiring a pie now or when I go hunting next weekend would be useless. However, if she's reading this and knew I wasn't hiring one, she could think she could get away with it. I'm putting some safeguards in place to ensure that doesn't happen, or if it does I have proof. I came up with an idea. I knew I couldn't and wouldn't trust her for a long time if ever again if we tried to fix things. I figured out the only thing that can even start to make me believe that maybe she actually wants to stay with me for me and work on our relationship, and not stay with me for what I can do for her. I asked her if she would sign a postnuptial agreement. I'll still have to talk to a lawyer, but if she agrees to sign a contract that if we divorce, even no fault, she gets nothing. No alimony, no possessions except certain outlined things that are undeniably hers, and no child support. I don't know how it would work, hence why I have to talk to a lawyer and make sure I can do it like that. I have further plans, but I will not be posting them here as she may see this, and those plans involve her not knowing about them. I may reveal them later on, but it will be long from now. At this point, if the post-nuptial agreement works how I hope, and she signs it, I think I'd be willing to try to work on things. I know a lot of you aren't going to like this. Maybe she is lying to me. Maybe she really is just a piece of shit. But I knew her before she did this. I knew her before our marriage degraded. I don't think she did it because she wanted to have sex with someone else. I don't think she did it because she doesn't love me. I think she did it because he was telling her the exact same things I used to when we were first together. I think she misses what we used to be, and while we will never be what we used to be, this will go one of three ways. Either we try to work on things, it doesn't work out, and we get a divorce. We try to work on things, she continues to cheat, and we get a divorce. Or, we try to work on things, we fix problems we have had with ourselves in our marriage since we first got together, and our marriage and relationship will be stronger than it has ever been. I'm hoping for the latter. I love you guys. You are awesome. The amount of support I've gotten has been overwhelming. I'm still reading every comment and message I get. Shout out to the fella that gave me my first gold, and a huge shout out to the champ that gave me my first platinum. Please, continue to let me know what you think. I know a lot of you won't be happy with my decision, or will be disappointed in me, but I've got to do this for me. Quick add-on to my latest update, she has terrible self-image issues. She thinks the worst of herself. She's also super introverted and doesn't get to know many people. This is the first job she's had where she's been around other people in years. Of course, this doesn't excuse anything, but I felt like it was relevant. P.S. Next update will probably be after next week. Update 6. Hey guys, sorry I've made you wait for an update. Currently sitting at the bar, drinking some Jack and Coke. So we talked. We tried to work things out, and it seemed like it was getting better. Then she said that she wasn't sure how she felt or if she wanted to try. We talked some more and she said she did want to try. We had a session of counseling with a therapist Wednesday. The counseling went more or less like this. She said she felt like she wasn't getting enough out of the marriage, and that I didn't care or talk to her. The therapist asked her some questions and she answered basically saying she could tell I did care and did talk to her. The therapist kinda explained to her that it wasn't that I didn't care, and instead that she just wasn't happy with it and didn't know what she wanted. Well, she decided what she wanted. Last night she started setting up an air mattress in the extra room, and I saw she had some new sheets that she had ordered to fit it. I looked at her phone to see when she had ordered them, and she was texting him again. So obviously, we're done. We will be getting a divorce. I know a lot of you are going to say I told you so, but I was 100% aware this was a possibility when I tried to work things out, and I don't regret it at all. I will look back on this in the future and know I did everything I could to fix things. I have nothing left to regret, and that makes me happy. I tried, and I can never blame myself now. Now, before anyone says it, please refrain from calling her a BH, or just generally talking shit about my wife. As you can't just stop loving at will, I still love her. Telling me how shitty a person she is doesn't help. I don't forgive her, and I may never, but I don't resent her. I still want the best for her and our daughter and want her to be happy. I genuinely believe she regrets hurting me, but can't help how she feels. We are done, but she is currently planning to move back to Florida with her family, which means leaving this guy too. She doesn't think she can be happy with me anymore, but I don't really think she's leaving me to be with him. In my opinion, she is excited about the pursuit. The puppy dog love that you get when you meet someone new. I think she is damaged and needs help to figure out herself and her self-deprecation issues. She will be staying here in our house for the time being and seeing a therapist while she still gets the benefit of it being married to me. By SC law, we will have to live apart for a year before we can file for the divorce, but she will be leaving relatively soon. We have agreed to do mediation instead of having lawyers involved to save us money and fighting. We still get along well enough. She has agreed that she will not pursue alimony, and I think she will be giving me full custody of our daughter if the courts accept it, but with her still getting as much visitation as possible. I won't try to FK her over as much as you guys will tell me to, and although I love you all for all the support and everything you have done for me, you don't know me, and you don't know her. She's not a terrible person. I truly believe she is telling me the truth and won't try to FK me over either. It's gonna be rough for a long time, but we'll make it through this. The most important thing to me right now is making sure our daughter is taken care of, and that we do what is best for her. I'm on drink number 4 now, and getting tired of typing, so I'm done for now, but if I left out any details feel free to ask, and I will reply to any questions, as well as updating the update to include the details I left out. I appreciate you all more than you can know, and I wish I could afford to give each and every one of you medals, but unfortunately I can't. If anyone is in the Columbia, SC area, I'd love a drinking buddy. I'm buying, unless like 40 people try to come. Have a great day. Thanks for reading. Thanks for everything. You're amazing. Update part 4 years later, all is said and done, and while I know this was a wild ride, it ended happily for me and my daughter. Hi Reddit. For the few that remember me from my last post, hi. It's been a while. It's been 4 years since I discovered that my wife was cheating on me. I've had many people ask for an update and decided it's finally time for one. I have no interest in reading my original post and reliving that time in my life, so I'll give you a summary of what happened and where I'm at now. After the day or two of activity that the last post took place in, my ex and I spoke. She made promises to stop talking to the other guy, but of course couldn't keep her promises. Within a month or two, after trying and failing counseling, Sheila moved out. She stayed with her lover. I retained custody of our daughter, and life went on. I went through a deep depression, and I'm honestly surprised that I came out the other side of it. I have you all, my daughter, and my mother to thank for that. Sheila went on to get pregnant with the other guy's kid, get an abortion, get pregnant again, have the second kid, and have that child taken by CPS for 6 odd months for suspected abuse. We actually get along better now than we have since I discovered she was cheating. Not to say we're friends, but I've moved on and have stopped holding resentment for what she did to me. I believe in karma and feel like she's gotten hers. She hasn't had an easy life the past 4 years. I haven't stopped resenting her for being a bad mother, but I've accepted that I can't fix it. Instead, I'm focused on being the best father I can for my daughter. She just turned 8 and is the most amazing child anyone could ask for. I've actually just come out of a 2-year relationship. For the first time in my life, I'm happy and excited for my life as a single man. My life isn't perfect, but it's as good as it's ever been. I don't remember what all I went through in the last post, so if you have any questions, leave a comment or shoot me a message. Thank you so much to everyone that helped me through the hardest part of my life. I'll never forget you. To anyone going through a difficult time, it gets better. Make it to the other side. It's worth it, I promise. Love y'all. Lesser than 3. Jerry. Story 2. My wife cheated on me with one of my employees. I apologize in advance that this isn't proofread. Background: I met my now wife 12 years ago when I was in college. When we met, we instantly clicked. She is a beautiful and smart woman. She is so wonderful to be around. She is the love of my life, and I'm so distraught by this. We have been together almost for 10 years and happily married for around 6 years. Our relationship has always been healthy. I never thought there were any issues until now. We always communicated our feelings and hardly argued, and when we did, we would calmly discuss it. I've been a business owner for around 7 years now. It's a pretty small business, but it makes money. Around a year ago, I hired John, not his real name, due to privacy. Now I want to say I'm not a bad-looking guy. I'm roughly 6'2" and leaning more towards the lean side. I don't have a hideous face, but I'm not extremely attractive. John is roughly 60 and is slightly on the bulky side. He is one of those guys you wouldn't want your wife to see. He is extremely attractive. When my wife met with John for the first time, she acted very strange around him. She was even a little flustered to be around him. I brushed it off as me overanalyzing it. However, my wife came into work more and more often. When she came, she would put on makeup and dress up. For context, my wife hardly dresses up. I found this a little suspicious, but again brushed it off as me being paranoid. John would talk and even flirt with my wife when I was around. He was also extra with her. I again brushed this off as jealousy. Last month, my wife came into work to bring me lunch. She brought 2 lunches, which I thought was strange. I asked her about it and she said I thought I would pack 2 just in case John wanted some too. I thought this was a little weird and asked her why she would do that, because he isn't her boyfriend and didn't need her to pack him a lunch. I can see my words were a bit much, but it just made me uncomfortable. She blew up at me and told me to stop being jealous. She told me that John was a very good person and friend, that he deserved the lunch more than I did. I felt a little hurt by her words, but apologized anyway. She asked me where he was and stormed into the break room where he was nowhere to be found. After I told her he was sick, she scoffed and left in a huff. I didn't get my lunch that day. This whole situation felt a little strange to me, so I decided to do some digging. I know it was wrong, but I went through her phone when she was asleep. I found out that she and John had been seeing each other for around 7 months now. My heart broke. It still is. This woman that I loved and trusted, who I had been with for 10 years, had just thrown it all away for some guy she only knew for barely a year. I scrolled through the messages. Each one broke my heart a little more than the last. They had been making fun of me and everything, exchanging photos and planning dates. I didn't know what to do or where to even start, so I took a bunch of screenshots and sent it to myself. This was all around a week and a half ago, and I'm still in shock. I don't know what to do. I want to confront her or something. However, I still love her and don't want to leave her. I don't know what to do. Story 3. I need to send a letter of thanks to Dyson. I discovered my wife of 17 years had an 18-month affair when I updated our fan filter on the app it uses. Like the title says, sorry, I'm posting from my phone. History: married 17 years with no children of our own. She's been divorced once and had 2 daughters that I helped to raise prior to our marriage. We've really only had minor bumps and issues, in my opinion. We've had an open door type of communication with each other, whether it be work issues and venting, or sexual issues, or just how we are feeling. Often we will just talk on the couch about life and philosophy in general. I felt that we had a great connection and a pretty heavy, fulfilling sex life. We are both in good shape and maintain a healthy lifestyle. I work in the medical field and, due to things being what they are, have been putting in a decent amount of overtime over the past 5 months. She works in a legal consultancy and has been WFH for the past 5 months, which has made things a bit distant, but on our days off we are tight. Changed the filter on the Dyson fan in our bedroom last night. Asked wife if I could use her phone to update the app in order to reset the change filter alert. Mine was on the charger next to the front door. I noticed she had put on a pattern unlock and kinda wanted to ask her what that was about. As I was looking for the app on her phone, a notification for Snapchat popped up. My stomach dropped immediately as I read the small tag. "I'll bring the special toy," it said. My brain understood the words ... but my mind just stopped functioning. She asked what was the matter after I guessed several minutes of me just sitting and staring at the bedroom fan. My wife has an obligatory quarterly out-of-town meeting that puts her 2 states away for 5 days every business quarter. I knew it was about this coming trip on Monday. I've perused Reddit for years anonymously. I've read hundreds of stories that began like this, and never once have I thought about it being me that would sit on my bedroom floor and be in such a cold, dumbfounded state. I recovered and said, "Oh, just getting info about the IP and router." That's how the fan communicates through the app. I have a Chromebook that she logged into Facebook yesterday. I took a week's vacation on short notice. My supervisor is a cool chick, and once I laid out what I may have discovered and had to do, I'm going to need time off. I've been up all night reading her chats. She left to go to the office just now, and I made sure the Google location history was on and find my phone was active. I'm so suspicious of everything she does now I can't look at myself in the mirror. She doesn't know I saw the message notification. I logged onto the messaging system that Verizon uses and have signed in under her number and name. There are at least 15,000 that date back to February of last year. Messages, memes, flirty pics, and some X-rated ones too. She stopped texting him this way about 3 months ago. Didn't stop texting him, but stopped using the message app through Verizon. I'm guessing they switched to Snapchat because it's discreet. I'm not on any social media in any way, shape, or form. I am clueless. I just figured out that you can't log into Snapchat through Facebook. But it just takes an email and password. And she has used this Chromebook to do that. Hell, she used it just 3 nights ago lying in bed next to me rubbing my back while I went to sleep. She messaged him and sexted him lying next to me. It's a young man from work. He is married and has 3 young children. He and his wife have Facebook. I've met him twice, shook his FG hand. I'm at a complete loss again and have paced, wandered my house for hours. I almost can't feel anything. What little that I am processing is just white-hot rage. I logged on Snapchat and there it all was. I have called my best friend who has been divorced 3 times. He recommended a vicious lawyer. I plan on recording, saving everything. There's pics of them in the act. I'm sure her phone or his has video. I desperately want this to be a bad dream. She said terrible things about me. She's told him my insecurities. She told him I love you. They have made no long-term plans, so this feels like a purely sexual relationship. It almost makes it better, but also makes it so much worse. Like she's literally throwing away our life for this. She knows cheating is an absolute deal breaker for me. Our usual routine on the day she leaves for her meetings is I take her to the airport and drop her off with a long goodbye. I can't even think about what I have to do now. My friend says print out the entire thing and see if I can recover things from Snapchat. From what I understand, I can't, unless I have her phone. My plan is to see the lawyer today. I'm paying a ridiculous amount to jump in her appointment line. Get the ball rolling and hopefully have a plan of action from her. I really want to book a flight and follow my wife to the hotel she's staying at and catch her in the act. I have access to her hotel booking options and have put myself as a contact person, so I can get a room key without alerting her. I think I'm just going to log onto the messaging apps when I get into town and watch it happen in real time. If I could get the papers ready in time, I'd hand them to her. Instead, I'm just going to hand her the printouts. It's a 600-page PDF. His wife accepted my friend request. I am debating sending everything now. I am seething. I just don't want to lose any advantage. I'm going to fly there Monday afternoon, log in and see what they've talked about, get a room key to my wife's room and drop off the package in her room with my wedding ring. I'm going to sit in the bar and watch my phone blow up. I'm going to call the AP and tell him to meet me in the lobby bar and to bring my wife down. Then tell him that a similar package has been sent certified mail to his home address to his wife, as well as a Facebook message that I plan on hitting send on as I tell him. It feels petty and weak. I want to rage and scream, but I'm helpless. This morning all I could do was give her a peck on the cheek goodbye. I really can't stand to look her in the eye. I somehow have to get through the weekend. I guess I'm asking, is my spiteful, hate-fueled plan worth it? I just want to inflict pain at this point. I want to hurt her emotionally. I feel eviscerated, emasculated. I will not entertain an apology. This is the one act that is unforgivable. It takes so many steps to cheat on someone. They all can be stopped until the sin is complete. Then it is done. Should I just confront her tonight? Or catch her? I don't think I'll update. I'm truly thinking about never using social media again, and only being with a partner that has a similar outlook moving forward. ETA, I found the special toy. Keep in mind we have a chest full of adult fun devices. It was already in her carry-on. It's one of those remote control vibrators, the ones that can be controlled by an app. It looks expensive. I meet with the lawyer in 90 minutes. Update, I have no clue how to post an update. I'm just editing my post. I met with the lawyer. She was actually kind, and I dare say compassionate with me. She told me point blank that her job was to represent me in this fight for my future, and my job in all of this was to tell her the complete truth and not make her job harder. I went to Kinko's and printed the file out. Cost $534 for color because I wanted to have the pictures pop. Shout out to Chris at Kinko's for not making a scene when the nude started coming out. He asked what it was all about, so I told him. He was taken aback, but shook my hand and said sorry. I went home and crashed for about 3 hours, and STBXW came home around 19:30, usual time. Lawyer said to forget any Hollywood confrontation in a hotel bar, that it would look pretty crazy and not becoming at all. So I'm sorry to all of those people that wanted the high drama. She's right ultimately. There's 2 routes to take with divorce, contested or uncontested. She said I would have to notify my STBXW that I have retained counsel, and in order to proceed my STBXW would have to either contest the divorce or we would go through mediation and file from there. So, she got home about 2 hours ago. I asked her if there was anything going on that she wanted to talk about. She said nothing other than the election. She then asked what was bothering me. I wanted to cry, but, truthfully, I was cried out. I said I was curious as to why she had a remote control vibrator in her luggage. The look on her face was actually more telling than anything I've ever seen. She looked panicked, pale. She began to breathe faster, sweat. I asked why she would have something like that. Who had the code and the app to it? She stammered and the tears began. As I pulled out my 3 file folders worth of text exchanges, I asked if the AP's wife would have it. She cried and pleaded that she could explain. I said she had 5 minutes to do it. Of course she couldn't. I told her what my attorney told me to tell her. I also told her to leave. She screamed it was her house too. I calmly told her that maybe, but I would be notifying everyone about her affair and betrayal. That even the girls will know. Or she can leave now and find living arrangements for the time being. Hell, she'll be at her work conference for a week. She was speechless. I calmly pulled up Facebook and showed her the AP's wife. I said, do you want me to tell her or are you going to do it right now? Tears and moaning and pleading with I love you and it wasn't supposed to go this far. Then my favorite, you can't do this. I said, well, it looks like I'm doing it, as I sent the AP's wife a message with the file of their escapades on it. I prefaced it with apologies and a brief explanation. I haven't heard back from her. I leafed through the stacks of paper and started reading random excerpts out loud to my STBXW. I just wish we could spend the day attached to each other. Just you inside of me. You feel so much more intense than any other woman I've ever been with. She is still sobbing and asking to talk about us. She says our marriage can withstand her mistake. I told her I would never forgive her, her word is shit, and that she threw away the last 17 years. I'm still entertaining the whole tell HR thing, and I am going to tell everyone about her decision to end our marriage by cheating. Thank you to everyone who responded. I feel bad I couldn't respond to all the PMs and responses. I have a therapy appointment scheduled Tuesday. I kinda feel extremely elated, I'm shaking, and incredibly low right now. I kinda want to die. The house is pretty quiet except for her crying and moaning. I told her to not come back after her trip. I'm currently sending friend requests and trying to get everyone on my page. I'm just going to send it to everyone that way. I am going to wait until the morning to call the girls. I raised them from when they were 11 and 6. They are women now, 28 and 23. I don't know what to tell them or how to handle them.